Bonjour, bonjour. Today is February 6th, 2025, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about something that happened 364 years ago today, right behind me in the Galerie des Palais. Before anybody has reached this, everybody's at the Mona Lisa, so I just walked through the whole back part of the Louvre, completely empty. But I'm going to take you in here really quickly, tell you a little story about what happened on this state in the past under Louis XIV. So here we are at the Galerie des Palais. Dates back originally to 1566 under Charles IX, and it was built to link the palace to the Grande Galerie that stretched all the way to the Tuileries. And in this room, it was originally just like a above portico, and then they decided to create an actual room, then close it, give it walls and roof and everything. And then under Louis XIV is when he really amped it up. It was called the Galerie des Rois, or the Petite Gallery. The Galerie des Rois, it was covered with paintings of kings and queens, and most of those were destroyed on a certain event that happened in here on February 6, 1661, so 364 years ago today, when they were setting up in here. They were building a stage, and there was going to be a ballet and a opera going on in here, and it was all done under Cardinal Richelieu, and it was choreographed by Francesco Butti and then composed by Jean-Baptiste Lully. And they were going to actually have this performance in here that Louis XIV was actually going to take part in, and he was actually perform and dance in it. Well, while they were working on it, a carpenter caused a fire, and it destroyed everything in this room except for one painting, as I said. And under that time, then right after that, Louis XIV decided, let's rebuild it. So exactly 6 months later in August, they decided, okay, we're going to rebuild this. And by September, they had started it. Right below us is the rooms of Anne of Austria, and there was some damage from the fire because the heat did some damage to the ceilings. But the night of the fire, everything, this fire was reaching through here, going very quickly, and they were able to, Swiss guards were able to stop it because they brought water up from the Seine, and Daisy changed it and came in here, and they got the fire out. So, but they also had decided to go over to the church across the way, the Saint-Germain-l'Auxerrois, and they brought the priest over with the Holy Sacrament. He performed the sacrament here inside while the fire was going, and miraculously, it went out. It did spread a tiny bit into the next room, but it was actually all contained and stopped. But when they decided to redo this room, Louis XIV put Charles Lebrun in charge of it, and Charles Lebrun created all of this. So he designed it, so it was going to be all about the passage of time. It's dedicated to Apollo. Apollo is the sun god. Louis XIV was thought he was the sun king, and the sun god is all about the sun setting and rising and time. So you have on the ceiling here the different months of the year. You have the zodiac symbols. The paintings all refer to different times of the day, seasons of the year. You have the muses of Zeus in here because they are also represent the arts, and it's a pretty amazing place. So it started in 1661 for what we see today. That went on for 20 years. 1682, Louis XIV said, forget this, I'm out of here, I'm going to Versailles, and he left. And so this room, everything stopped. Everything stopped in the Louvre that had been started by Louis XIV. And this room was not finished until 1851, and it's mostly because of another one of my favorite people, Eugène Delacroix. Up here in the center, you have Apollo slaying the serpent. He is the one who created that amazing piece. It was finished in 1851, marking the end of the construction of this room. Finally, this room is filled with a million amazing details, including the gorgeous crown jewels. A lot of these were Eugénie, wife of Napoleon III, but this is my favorite. Belonged to Marie-Louise, second wife of Napoleon Bonaparte. And then you also have these amazing portraits. There are the paintings, or the portraits are of the actual different artists architects, sculptors, a garden designer that all had something to do with creating the Louvre and the Tuileries. And then you also have the four rulers that kind of did the most for the Louvre. This one right here used to be Napoleon III, but after he was ousted, they took that down and replaced it with one of my favorites, the handsome Henri IV. But the room is amazing, and I'm going to do, after I finish a few other projects, we're going to go deep into every detail in this room. But 364 years ago, it was a Sunday morning. The fire started in the morning and spread quickly through here and destroyed everything. But because of this room, you have Versailles, because Louis XIV loved what Charles Le Brun was doing, so he decided, hey, why don't we do something like that at my hunting lodge? So this was first. A lot of people come in here and think, oh, this looks like Versailles. No, 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 no. Versailles looks like this.